Hey guys, and welcome to a kind of a special video today where I'm going to be attempting to do a campaign playthrough of the Mutant Genesis campaign box. So yeah, I'm going to be pretty much using the pre-con decks here of Colossus and Shadowcat, but we're going to be diving a little bit into the kind of more nuanced rules that come with the campaign. So with that, I'm actually just looking specifically here. We'll start with the Sabretooth 1, as is normal. Um, and we're going to be doing it on standard, so 1 damage is going to be placed on Robert Kelly, but we'll get to that in a minute. But really and truly, we're looking at the setup here for the campaign instructions. So each player records their identity in the campaign log found on the back cover of this rulebook. Players cannot switch identities during a campaign. That's fine. Each player chooses one of the campaign roles. Record each player's role in the campaign log. Each player takes one random upgrade from their role's set of cards and puts it into play under their control. Each player may roll build to modify their deck. So we'll be doing that now next. And then, of course, the next section will be to look at the future past modular. We'll get to that in a moment. And then the final part is reveal the frightened police side scheme. So where are we? Let's have a quick look and I'll show you what we've done so far. So we have Colossus as player 1 and Shadowcat as player 2. And we've decided that the role Colossus will have is Brawler and Shadowcat will be in Defender. Okay, now with that done, that's giving us access to aggression and protection for Colossus and justice and protection for Shadowcat. And for the role building section, which is this, in addition to the unique upgrades, we'll be doing the unique upgrades shortly. Each role gives players the ability to further customize their deck by granting them limited access to their role's associated aspects. When setting up a scenario in campaign mode, each player may choose up to one copy of an event and or one copy of an upgrade in their collection from their role's associated aspects. If a player deck does not already include their chosen event or upgrade, they may add either or both to their deck for that game. Cards chosen this way do not count towards minimum or maximum deck size. So for Colossus, Colossus is already in protection. So what I'm actually going to do is create the card here, which will be the heroic. Do we have the... No, sorry, it's combat. Combat training, right? That's the one. We're going to get a combat training. And that's going to be the upgrade in his... that we'll take is specifically for that. And I was thinking maybe would it be worth taking honed technique, but we don't have many attack things going on, so maybe we'll do a slightly different one. I might go for what would be the one to do? You know what, I'm going to go for precision strike. Nice cheap one. Which should we, or you know, maybe something a bit, we'll go melee. This one. Right, so these will be the two that Colossus takes, and we will shuffle these into, and obviously this would have to shuffle all these back in as well, because he shouldn't have a mulligan at this point, or he shouldn't even have a thing going on at this point. So that's done. We'll now do exactly the same for Shadowcat. I'm going to create, I think I'll take heroic intuition in this instance for her. And I might also take, because we've got access to protection as well, maybe a... what would be good for her? She does have quite a few things, so maybe a come get me, Bob. Right, so I'll create that. Discard cards from the deck. Yeah, I think we'll we'll test these out here now. So these two will go into her deck. We'll shuffle these in too. Now, as I've said already, we're actually taking the precons for both of these characters straight out of the box. So that's pretty much what's gone in here. Now, with that done, now we kind of jumped a small bit ahead of the turns here. But what I think now, as Colossus is the brawler, we will take his brawling cards and we're just going to put these in here, give them a quick shuffle and draw one. This will be his kind of like special upgrade for the round, and then the rest of them can kind of go back into the campaign loop for now. So I'll put these in here, and we'll do exactly the same over here for Shadowcat, putting these into this special place, giving them a shuffle, and then drawing the first one, which in this case would be her surprise. After you thwart, remove 3 threat from among schemes in play, confuse an enemy, remove this card from the game and the campaign pool. Okay, and the swagger of Colossus: when you make a basic defense, you get +3, ready your hero, remove this card from the game and the pool as well. Excellent. Okay, so let's get these ones in. All right, and we'll record these. So Colossus is putting in swagger, and the other one is surprise. So let's just add these. So player 1, roll upgrades. Oh, these are the roll upgrades. Excuse me. Oh, it doesn't matter which ones we record, does it? Allies from Abducted Protocol. Future Past cards. What? Scenario 1. Remove these from play. Did we not need the let me just go back to the rules a second here now, because I might have jumped the gun a small bit. So role building. In addition to these upgrades, each role gives players the ability to further customize their deck by granting them limited access to their roles' associated aspects. When setting up a scenario in campaign mode, which we're doing, each player may choose up to 1 copy of an event and or 1 copy of an upgrade. So I'd read that as you could have 1 copy of an event and 1 copy of an upgrade in their collection from the roles' associated aspects. Okay, if a player does not, so that's fine. I think we haven't messed up there. Each player chooses one of the campaign roles. Each player record each player's role. We've done that. Each player takes 1 random upgrade from their role's set of cards and puts it into their deck. Each player may role build to modify their deck. So does that mean we could put an extra one in there? Each player takes 1 random upgrade. Oh no, that's right. So yeah, we're fine. Okay, I don't know why I'm confused by that. So we'll just, like I said, we'll add those in. What went in? It was for player 1. Roll upgrades in play. Because I'm totally reading this wrong. I apologize, guys. Sorry. It's the first time I've done the campaign on this. I haven't even done it in physical play, just skipping through them. So the upgrades we have were, as we said, swagger for Colossus, which we'll put in here now. And of course, the other one was surprise. So that's all right. I don't think we need to worry too much about anything else here now. And with that, I suppose we'll get into the setup for the rest of the game. Right, so I'll put these guys in here for the moment. They'll have to be shuffled, and we may have to deal with, the Days of Future Past encounters coming out at some stage. So with that said, we're in Colossus here. We'll do a quick shuffle. Well, we'll have a look at this first. Put the Find the Senator. That's done. Attach Robert Kelly to it. That's done. He's out of play, or he's in play, but he's under no player's control. That's fine. And we're on standard, so he will take a damage from that, which is the initial damage. And then we flip this over. Forced response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, deal 2 damage to Robert Kelly, 3 instead if there is at least 6 threat here. While Robert Kelly is attached, to Find the Senator, treat his text box as if it were blank. No problem. Then we've got this, which is a crisis. Robert Kelly cannot be healed by player card effects and cannot have upgrades attached. When defeated, the first player detaches Robert Kelly from the scheme and takes control of him. Advance to main scheme 2A. Flip this card and place it next to the main scheme. That's fine. And then the frightened police. In the midst of chaos, the police have confused the X-Men with the enemy. When defeated, shuffle the top card of the future past deck into the encounter deck and then flip this card and put Metro PD into play. Alright, so we got a few things to deal with here, and I think we can begin now in earnest. So, Peter is going to draw 6 cards. Let's do one more shuffle, and then we'll draw 6. And let's do a mulligan with these now. I love Professor X. That's excellent. I like the organic steel as well. But I may mulligan that knowing that we can pull it from his setup. Powerful Punch is no use. Steel Fist is good. This is good. And Perseverance, after you change form, give your hero a tough status card. That's quite good. So we will have 2 to deal with there. So I'll get rid of these 2. And yeah, that's what we'll do. Mulligan hand. We'll lose the Powerful Punch and we'll lose the Organic Steel, and that should be fine. What do we get instead? We got the Bulletproof Protector. That's also pretty good. And the Bait and Switch. We won't be using that. Well, maybe. Maybe we'll use that because we'll have a few toughs to deal with, and that could help us out up here. So with that, all said and done for Colossus, let's move over to Shadowcat. We're going to do a shuffle, and then we're going to draw 6. Her opening hand size of 6. Love the surprise. Toe to toe is okay, but I'm not going to use it this turn. I'm not keen on magic. Love this. Not keen on this. I'll lose the 3 I have here. 1, 2, 3. And we'll be fine with that, I think. Okay, that's pretty cool. Shadow and Steel. When an enemy attacks, prevent all damage from that attack and deal 4 damage to the attacking enemy. We have some coordination going on here, so that's something. Shall we begin in earnest? Right, back to Colossus. Now, set up, search your deck, and discard pile for Organic Steel and add it to your hand. Here is our Organic Steel. We've taken it from the discard pile. I'll search your deck for a copy, so I can't take it from my discards. So let's take it from here. Organic Steel, that goes into play there, and we'll shuffle these. Now I'm going to flip over, and I may use the you know what now? Once I change form, after you change to this form, give Colossus a tough status card. Let's do that. Then I may use the Bulletproof Protector. Discard a tough status from your hero. And I can give myself 2. Did I read that correctly? Yeah, that's okay. Now, how am I dealing with this? I don't have much in the way of resources, so I am suffering in that instance. Like, we do want to get this out, but we can't afford much else. Maybe we use this. These 2. He can hit me. And then maybe we could use the team up, which might be a play. And then maybe get Professor X in. I know we're losing a lot of valuable stuff here, but yeah, maybe getting this stuff under control is really the play for now. So I'm going to use Perseverance to pay for Bait and Switch. The villain attacks you, so in this instance he is going to hit me. Before anything occurs there now, should I be... This is a heroic interrupt. When the enemy attacks, so I can't use that right now. That does change how I want to deal with that. So maybe I won't do that just yet. Okay, I'm backtracking here a small bit. Learning these characters, or not even learning them, but it's been a while since I did actually play them. So maybe we do a Professor X. We get a Professor X out. We can thwart 3. And then we could do a confuse here. Maybe giving Kitty another turn to get into play. So yeah, I'll use 1, 2, and 3 to play Professor X. X gon' give it to you. After Professor X enters play, choose 1, confuse the villain. That's what we will do. I think that's possibly the most useful to us right now. And then he'll exhaust to thwart 3 off of the frightened police. Now, this is a defense. We'll be using that at some stage, but we won't be using it straight away. And I may just attack him for 2 then. Okay, I'm cool with that. Let's move over to Kitty, see what she can do. Now, I do like getting this in for 2. And maybe, I know the point was kind of going over, but yeah. I think I might use Shadow and Steel and the attack training to get the heroic intuition into play, which is giving me a +1 thwart even. And then I'm going to flip over. Now, I could scheme for 2 here. Then, after I thwart, or should I say, yeah, I can thwart for 2 here, and then after I thwart, remove 3 from among the schemes in play, confuse an enemy. We are going to lose the confuse in that instance, so maybe now isn't the time. And then remove this card from the game and the campaign pool. Yeah, maybe we don't need to do that quite yet. But we do have at least a ready up here with the Shadowcat's prize. So yeah, I'm going to thwart for 3. 1, 2, let's take control here. 1, 2, 3. That's done. So shuffle the top card of the future past deck into the encounter deck and flip this card and put Metro PD into play. Right, this is a permanent. The first player controls Metro PD. So I might just, can I anchor this to something else? Anchor, no, we leave it alone. We know it's going to be, it's associated with this, so I'll try and remember that. Then we will use these 2 to play a Shadowcat surprise. I'm jumping ahead. Apologies. Let's do the first part of that first. The Days of Future Past is shuffled, and we put that in here, and then shuffle that. And fine. Back to this. Now, I'll use those 2 to get a Shadowcat surprise into play, which is an attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy, and ready your hero. So that's 3, 1, 2, 3, and a ready up. Now I have attacked, so I could effectively flip this over. So just with that, the response from her one is, after you attack or defend in solid mass form, flip this card. So that's exactly what I'm taking that to be. I'll be in phased form for his attack shortly. And if I thwart again for 3, we can take it off this and start doing some stuff here. So that's what I'll do. I'll take 3 from the Find the Senator. We have very little else that we can do. Colossus, maybe from his side, can be called for an action here. Exhaust Metro PD. Choose to either remove or deal 1 damage or remove 1 threat from a scheme. Damage is the name of the game. Let's put the let's take the damage on Sabretooth, and from there we'll say that's the end of turn 1 hero phase. We'll go into the villain phase of turn 1, and let's deal with this now. So I'm going to move the senator over here so we can see him a little clearer. 2 goes on to stalked by Sabretooth, and then the forced response goes off, so we put 2 damage onto Robert Kelly. Now he is going to attack Colossus first, and Professor X will weather this attack for us. So that's going to be 2 plus Did I shuffle that? Right, we had Bastion. Pretty sure I did shuffle it, didn't I? To Shadow and Steel, advance, frighten police. So we're going to shuffle their side deck, moved card to the global encounter, and then shuffle the encounter. So we did in fact shuffle that based on our actions, but he stayed on top. It happens, I suppose. Deal this card to yourself as a face-down encounter card. So, Colossus is going to have to deal with Bastion shortly. So, Sabretooth hits for 2, does 2 damage to the Professor, and the Professor is defeated. Now, he then recovers for 2, 1, 2. That's fine. That's his forced response here. After he activates, discard the top card and heal damage from Sabretooth equal to the number of boost icons discarded. So with that done, he's now going to attack Shadowcat. Who's going to let this go through? She is in phased form, so she can weather a hit. I was thinking of using Swagger, but I don't think there's a point just yet when we have such strong defenders. So while Shadowcat is defending, she cannot take damage. So I am defending. It is an undefended attack. Does that mean I have to... Let me just check that there. I assume I would have to defend in this instance. When an enemy attacks, if you are in phased form, let's use this. I'm going to use the quick shift as our defense. I'm not going to actually exhaust to do it, but the defense does count, or the defense card does count as a defending action, I believe, which should at least cover us if that's the case. And then in phase mass form, I draw 2 cards. 1, 2. I do like that. So I'm being hit for 2 and 0. I get hit for nothing. Just take control of that to delete that. This is done. His activation is done, and with that, he recovers for another 2. That is the one thing I do hate about Sabretooth. He is very, very durable. So, back to Colossus for this. The second card for Colossus, excuse me, and then of course the first card for I apologize, guys. Sorry. Shadowcat. So, with that done, let's deal with these. We know the first one is going to be Bastion. Toughness, Villainous, and Victory 1. Deal this card to yourself. We've already done that. At least he's not activating. And then the next one is Infiltration. When revealed, shuffle this card into your deck, and it gains Surge. Let's get our Surge card here. And then we'll shuffle this into our deck. Done. The next card for us, Adamantium Claws. Attached to Sabretooth, he gains Piercing, and we need to do one of each, spend one of each resource to discard this card. That is not ideal, and he's getting a +1 as well. And I don't think I have the, I don't actually have all 3 to spend. Ooh, that's brutal. Now, Shadowcat, what are you dealing with? You've got a Mutant Terrorist Treachery. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Brotherhood side scheme and reveal it. If it did not enter play this way, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a Brotherhood of Mutants minion is discarded and revealed it. So we want the Brotherhood of Mutants, the Brotherhood side scheme. Let's get that. And I just realized because this was a forced response, she should be over in her other form. So let's just do that first and then switch back here and we'll get the Brotherhood. And first, next card coming out anyway, close and shuffle. Oh, we've got a lot to deal with here. So that's done. Bastion's out. He should really only have the 1 toughness, I believe. So that's something. And with that done, we're over turn 2, and Shadowcat is going to take control of the police. can I do anything in this instance, right? So we could do 6 damage to an enemy, and we could get rid of... If I attack, I can start doing some things, I think. So I'm going to attack for 2 first onto... Yeah, we'll deal it from Sabretooth. Then, because I've attacked, after you attack or defend in solid mass flip, I'm going to flip over to phased. Then I'm going to use phased strike. That's going to be costing 3, so I'll use this and this to pay for it. Deal 6 damage to an enemy, so that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage done. If you're in phase mass, which I am, you may discard an attachment with the text hero action or hero response. So that is one. We can get rid of those claws. Lovely. That couldn't have had better timing, I believe. Now, because I've attacked now, though, this forced response also activates, so I have to flip that over. I don't have much else that I can do. In fact, if I used this a while ago, when you spend this card to play an attack, that event gains 1 additional damage. So let me backtrack here, guys. If I use this instead of the team strike, then that would have done 1 additional damage, and there we go, right? Hopefully you'll forgive me doing that slightly out of order there. So this goes in, and that would have gone in as well. Trying to get my head around doing both of these at the same time. So with that done, now, do we do a Metro Police, try and get him down, or will we do... I think we'll try and thwart some of this awful stuff here. So we'll take 1 off of this, and I might flip down, I think. Right, set up, put that into play, phase control, flip your mass form upgrade. So I could flip this over if I needed to. I don't think we need to worry about that just yet. We can do it in the next turn. Although, like, you know what? We will flip it. I will flip it over to phased. If only to... Yeah, I'll flip it over to phase. That's fine. Right. Can I do anything else? I can't really. I'll use the team strike to get ready to rumble into play. We might be able to use that next turn. Let's go over to Colossus, see what he can do. So, Colossus. We've got the steal, but I think maybe our play... I'm going to have to deal with Bastion, but I'm not... I think he's going to be our... Yeah, I think I'm going to go 1... Oh. I'm going to... Oh, shit, I shouldn't be able to see that. Sorry, apologies, guys. Why can I see this, and why is it not letting me flip it over? Right, that shouldn't be there. That's fine. Yeah, my keyboard's messing up a small bit here, so I've just... Shouldn't have been able to see that. I've turned it over and shuffled it. What I'm going to do is go Powerful Punch and Powerful Punch to play a Steel Fist. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. I'm going to do that to Sabretooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll discard a Tough from myself to stun the enemy. You may discard a Tough status card from your hero to stun and confuse the enemy. So we will be stunning him, which is alright. I didn't realize that was a stun and a confuse. And I may just hit him for another 2. Really try and, like, you know, we could try and sap him down, because I think really our objective is kill Sabretooth. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 more damage to him. And with that, I think we'll go to the next phase. Right. So I'll orchestrate this from Colossus' side as well here, just for the moment. 2 goes on to Stalked by Sabretooth. And of course then we must put another 2 damage onto the Senator. He would then scheme first against Kitty, but he doesn't because he's confused, so we get rid of that. And then he'd attack Colossus, but he doesn't because he's stunned, and we'll get rid of that. And that avoids his healing as well. Unfortunately, I do have Bastion. So Bastion is going to attack Colossus, and he has Villainous. So he does have this to deal with as well. Now, can I do anything from this? Remove this card from the campaign. Like, I'm not too worried about that just now. So I think I will let him hit me. And we'll try and build up again shortly. So he's going to hit me for 2 plus 0. That's 2 to my tough. No damage is done to me. And then we get our bad cards. 1 goes to Kitty. 2 goes to me. Or should I say Colossus. And 3 goes back to Kitty. We're getting a third, obviously, from the Brotherhood. Now, all Brotherhood minions gain Quick Strike, so I must bear that in mind. First card is going to be an Infiltration, and that goes into Kitty's deck. She'll take control of that, goes in, and shuffle. And of course, that would have had a Surge, which we'll take as well. The Surge is Unrelenting Savage. When revealed in Alter Ego, he schemes. If he has no sustained damage, he gets +1 for this. He does have sustained damage, so he's going to scheme for 1 plus 2. 1, 2 goes on the main scheme. That's not awful, but he does activate, and he does get a heal of 1. That's all right. Now the second card is, it's going to gain another Surge because we're in Alter Ego. So I'll get rid of this, and the Surge in this case is Permanently Phased. Give to the Kitty Pryde player. Flip your mass form upgrade to phased. I've done that. You cannot attack, defend, or change mass form. Alter Ego action. Exhaust Kitty Pryde. Remove Permanently Phased from the game. So we're actually in the perfect position at this point, I think. We can deal with that shortly. Now, what does Colossus have? He is dealing with a medical emergency. So that is Hinder 2. It's coming in with 6. Victory 1. When defeated, heal 2 damage from Robert Kelly. So that's not the worst. But we do have a lot of scheming to work with here. So let's now go to the next phase. Excuse me, the next turn. We're on turn number 3. Colossus is going to take control of the Metropolitan PD. And what else can we do here? I think maybe getting the combat training might be the play here. Getting that out, trying to hit him, getting that down as much as possible. What is our most dangerous? Like he's going to, we're putting 3 on this. He's going to be taking 3 damage here. That is a big problem for us. But I don't think there's much better. Well, I could do a bait and switch. That will remove 4 threat from something. I hate to use it, but I do have a swagger. So maybe that's the play. I'm going to go the X-Jet to play a bait and switch. The villain is attacking you. So he is going to attack me this turn. I will defend in this instance, and I will use the swagger. When you make a basic defense, you get +3. So I'm now defending for 5. And then I can ready my hero. So I'll be using that for this as well. And remove that has to get removed from the game. So he hits for 2, 3. No damage is done to me. That's okay, but he has activated, so he's going to heal for another 2. There we go. That's gone. That's gone. This is removed from the game. So let me just put that into the removed. Done. And then because we've done this, we can remove 4 threat from the main. From the main scheme. Oh, I thought it was from any scheme, but at least it'll remove it from this, and we won't have to do exactly 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the only thing though Oh, I screwed up. Because this crisis means that I can't remove anything from the main scheme. Whoops. So I should have read that better. So let's put that back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll just take that as a bum action. So that was a wasted thing. I'll use the police to take 1 off of this, and then I'll attack for another 2. 1, 2, and then I might just flip down, I think. Oh, we might have to do a replay of this. So let's go over to I don't think I have anything else that I can play in that instance, do I? Oh, and I do have my Aspiring Artist. After you change to this form, shuffle a Colossus card from your discard pile into your deck. Let's look at all these. What do I like? I think it's probably got to be Organic Steel. Shuffle that in. Excuse me, and that's fine. So now, with that done, what can Kitty do? Well, she's got to exhaust to get rid of this. We'll take that out of the game. I'll put that into the to this. Oh, I don't have control of that, so I'll take control of this group. I'll put that in. That's fine. Now I'm going to have to flip over. Flip over to hero form, and then after you change form, discard this card to ready up. There we are. Now, I can do a phase strike. That's not ideal though. We could do an airwalk. Remove 2 threat from a scheme, 4 instead if you're in phase form. So I could start taking some. What could I do? We can do 4 with the airwalk, and I could thwart a 3 off something as well. Now, what does this do? After you ignore the guard or patrol keyword, exhaust acute control to deal 2 damage to a minion. Okay, so we're not doing that. The airwalk really is the play here. Might keep the quick shift for something else. So I think really we're just going to be thwarting a lot with Kitty this phase. So we'll take 3 off of the Senator maybe. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll take it off this. This seems worse. I take 3 off of the mutants. 1, 2, 3. Then I'll use the attack training to play airwalk to remove another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets rid of that. Now, I could play a quick shift. That's another 6 damage done. But I do have to flip to my other form then, which I don't love. But at least we're kind of getting him into the next phase, really, aren't we? But I am losing the quick shift for the... Yeah, look, I'm going to go with it. Let's see how it goes. 1, 2, 3. We'll use this. We're doing an attack, deal 6 damage to an enemy. 1. We'll do that to Sabretooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's done. He has nothing to get rid of, and I do have to flip this over. Now, I did thwart, so I could remove 3 from among schemes in play, confuse an enemy, remove this card. Let me backtrack and do this after one of my thwarting actions. So remove 3 from among schemes in play. I'll remove it from... Which one would be the best to get rid of? I'll remove it from the medical emergency. Okay. And then confuse an enemy. We'll confuse the boss. Remove this card. Let's remove that. So they've been used. That's fine. Alright, I'm happy enough with that. At least we're kind of stopping some of that action. Unfortunately, we are going to take a hit here, but hey, that's the nature of the game. Let's run with it. So, I'm going to orchestrate from Colossus. 3 goes on the main scheme, which means that he's going to take 3 damage. Now, he would scheme against Colossus, but he does not, so that confuses God. And then Bastion is going to scheme with Villainous against Stalk by Sabretooth, which is going to be 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's done. And then I do have to deal with Colossus hitting Kitty. So, what is she doing? We don't have any ready ups. So I think I'm just going to take this 2, 3, and a random discard. So hitting for 3, I'll take the 3. 1, 2, 3. That's that part done. And then, of course, he does recover for nothing. Oh my god, okay, we got away with that. Now, bad card. First one goes to Colossus. Second one goes to Kitty. So in this case, first one is the Blob. He's guard. After Blob attacks and damages a character, stun that character. And then the next one is Metamorphic Mayhem. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme shovels each shapeshifter card from their encounter discard pile into their deck. My god, we are being murdered by these side schemes. I mean, this is really a cable thing to deal with, I think. But yep, let's move on. So none of our metamorphosis shapeshifting cards have come out. That's something at least. So let's look at what can Kitty do this turn. Very little. Very, very little, it seems. I can get the mansion out. That will give us something. Exhaust X energy, heal 1 damage from a mutant directed character. Any player whose alter ego has the mutant ability trait may trigger this ability. So, Peter could do that, I think. When the attached minion is defeated, removes 4. So 8 damage to the Blob could give us some thwarting back. But that kind of sucks. Maybe that's I think that might be the play, though. I'm going to get the Gatekeeper out and put that onto Blob. Might not be ideal. Then I'm going to discard these 2 to get the X-Mansion out. Right. What do we do? Do we thwart? I think we try and thwart. I'm going to do 3 from this, which heals 2 from Robert Kelly. 1, 2. And this is into the victory pile. That's something. But he's still dead this turn, really. Yeah, we can't do much. Yeah, I think we're smoked this turn. So, right, what are we doing? What can Peter do? Nothing from this instance, but I'm going to flip over. When I flip over, I get a tough. Now, after you change form, give your hero a tough status. So I could give myself the second tough here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll actually use these. After you change form, give your hero a tough. So I'll do exactly that. Tough. I could go these 2 for the combat training, giving me a +1. What do I do, though? Punch him. I can get rid of him. Or I could... yeah, we're smoked. 1 onto this guy. Then I attack for another 1, 2, 3. And that's it, I think. That's probably game over. Let's go to the next turn. Part 1. 1, 2 goes on to that. 3 damage goes on to Robert Kelly. And that's game. Alright, well, I think we're going to have to work on some of these, or I'm going to have to learn how to play them a little bit better, because that is not a good turn for me. I know Sabretooth is pretty bad, but wow, that is fairly awful. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that, throw us a like, give us a comment if you caught anything that I missed. But with that, I'll say take care of yourself, talk to you in the next video, and bye-bye for now.